freaking Monday. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. As always, make sure you're hitting the shit out of that like button, sharing the show, and subscribing if you're not already. Make sure, though, you are helping share the show. That is very important. I appreciate you all again for stopping through. We will dive into the chat after we're feeling good, headed into week 11. And the Pittsburgh Steelers now start to play some divisional games. Coming up next on the slate is the Ratbirds. Miss Pittsburgh in the house. Big Russ, what's up, man? I'm doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Miami Dolphins, LA Rams on Monday Night Football. Sounds like a sleeper. Sounds like a snooze fest. All football's good football, though, Miss Pittsburgh. I agree, no doubt about it. Wave those towels. I appreciate it so very much. What's up, downtown? We're feeling good here on a Monday. Why? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers are 7-2. Can I say that again? It feels so good. 7-2. The Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, got themselves in trouble sometimes yesterday, a little bit of self-inflicted wounds here and there, but I went back, I watched some plays, watched some of the game again when I had some time, and I gotta say, they weren't that bad. They weren't that bad. In the heat of the moment, yeah, there were some things that could be cleaned up, absolutely. But what have we been saying here since week 2? Since week 2, really, is when I really started saying it. Every single week, you have seen some sort of improvement from this football team. And if you can't get excited about that, you might not have a pulse, because that is super exciting to see each and every week. A football team that is getting better. A football team that has really started to come into their own a little bit here. And they're finding ways to win. They're playing for one another. It's special what's going on in the city of Pittsburgh right now with this football team, guys, and I keep saying that. But I do not want to allow you guys out there in the fan base to let this moment pass you by. And many of you have been involved with this Steelers team for years and years and years. You've dedicated many hours watching this team, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. These moments are precious, man. Keep them. Keep them tight to you, because you never know when they'll come back. Let's get back in the chat. Derpy Entertainment. Penalty. We're throwing a flag. Hold on. I got a flag. Flag on the play. Hey. This is an old, from Brownsville. This is an old flag, but I'm going to tie a sandbag on the end, and I'm going to make it a penalty flag. I'll turn it inside out. Man, I don't think you can turn it inside out. But I'm going to make it a penalty flag. And when people do stupid shit in the chat, we're going to throw the penalty flag. When they say dumb shit, we're going to throw the penalty flag. Yes, I love it. A good idea. Good idea, Derpy. And you didn't even know you had it. Extra Black in the house. What's up? Good to see all of you. Looks like the week off helped Broderick Jones lock in. No flags or missed assignments. Yeah, a lot of people were extra black. There was a lot. If you guys remember this play in the game, a lot of people were riding Broderick for this one, where he crashed down. Darnell Washington crashed out, and there was that free rusher that sacked Russell Wilson on that play. That wasn't a missed assignment on Broderick Jones. Actually, that was a missed assignment from Darnell Washington. Broderick Jones was crashing down on that play. That was his assignment. Darnell Washington was supposed to chip that guy, and instead he went to the outside, but he was supposed to have that responsibility. He was supposed to chip and slow down that linebacker there. That was very obvious once you rewound it and saw it, but a lot of people were busting him up on social media, which I didn't think was fair there. I give Broderick a B for yesterday. I thought that he played better, way better, absolutely. No penalties for Broderick yesterday. Joey Porter Jr., though, brought a lot of penalties. But, guys, he's a handsy guy. He's a physical guy. He's going to get penalties. You just hope that he limits them. And for most of this year, he has. And, you're going to get a game from him like that here and there. Let's continue back through the chat downtown. Ain't it funny how all of a sudden, and now the national network sports shows are praising the Steelers? Yeah, guys, I warn you about those people all the freaking time, dude. They're fence riders. They're not giving you accurate assessments of that football team. Watching those people half the time are a waste of time. The only thing they are good for is to break trades and things of that nature, like breaking stories like that. But to really get down to the nuts and bolts of your favorite football team, and this goes for any football team in the whole NFL, national media don't got it, man. They are just talking in a broad spectrum of what's going on. And I get it. You got to talk about all 32 teams. It's tough. It's tough to know each one intimately and really dig down deep into what's going on with them week in and week out. Was anyone else screaming and throwing stuff during the game? Yeah, James. Yeah, a couple times I was close, man. One of these days I'm going to have a heart attack watching my Steelers. Yeah. Yesterday was one of those days, man. Back and forth. But you know what, man? Guys, we haven't had this in so long. We haven't had this special ability from this football team to make ways to win, to find ways to win, manufacture wins, man. And that is what this team is doing. Under Kenny Pickett, do you know Russell Wilson now has as many touchdown passes as Kenny Pickett had all last season through 3 games? Let that sink into you a little bit. Let that just absorb down into your soul. That's bad, guys. Russell's played 3 damn games, and we got to applaud him. He didn't throw for monster numbers yesterday, but what did he do? He put points on the damn board. He didn't let those moments pass him by where last season or a couple seasons prior, you would have probably settled for a Chris Boswell field goal in a couple of those situations. But with Russell Wilson on the field, he ensured that the Steelers capitalized on mistakes from the Washington Commanders. And that's what is special about Russell Wilson right now. His veteran presence, his veteran leadership, understanding that you can't allow those precious moments of a football game to slip through your fingers. If you want to be a winner, you got to attack and get those, man. And he is getting those points in a big way. Let's continue to go here. What's up? What's the injury report from downtown? You're looking at Alex Highsmith, my friends. He's probably going to miss some time. That didn't look good, but initial reports from several outlets were he is actually walking boot-free in the locker room. He did leave on crutches. According to several people, there was significant swelling to that area. However, best case scenario, that's probably a high ankle sprain. And remember what happens with those high ankle sprains. And we want to talk about what those are here a little bit. Those high ankle sprains could involve a surgery if you want to rush back with them. But a high ankle sprain can keep you out for many weeks, man. You saw Kenny Pickett go through that high ankle sprain last year, and what can they do to correct that high ankle sprain? They can give you a thing called a tightrope surgery, a tightrope procedure, in which they will drill through and put some sort of wire in there and kind of expedite the healing process of the high ankle sprain. Now, will Alex Highsmith go through that? No, I don't know. We will have more news on that tomorrow during the Mike Tomlin press conference. He was going to get a better look, some images done with that ankle. Also, Najee Harris getting some image work done with his ankle. Dante Jackson left the game with a hamstring. I'm sure we're going to know the significance of that. That could prove to be a little bit troublesome, but where where's Corey Trice? Could Corey Trice come back to play that edge and not have James Pierre out there being a significant liability? Because they attacked James yesterday. I thought that he played okay, but they went after him. They knew the weakness. But if you get a guy maybe like Corey Trice back in the lineup, back from his hamstring injury, maybe he can, weather the storm if Dante Jackson is going to be out for any type of time. Those are the three big ones. I think you're going to get Nick Herbig back next week. Many are saying that he had a setback late in the week, or you would have saw him against the Commanders. But the Alex Highsmith one right now is probably the big one. That and Dante Jackson, because those are key cogs in the puzzle for the Pittsburgh Steelers defensively. And that's definitely something that we are going to have to continue to monitor. And tomorrow we should know a lot more after the Mike Tomlin press conference, weekly press conference. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Danny George, think I was close to the end score. Gut feeling I said that score. Danny George, 27-23. You had 27-23 if I have that wrote right. It looks like a 3 or a 5. I think it's 3. 27-23, so you were damn close, Danny. Damn close. You were probably the closest out of everybody. I got the Steelers score right, 28. Nobody else did, I don't think. Yeah, John did. Downtown John Broadway had 28. But yeah, Danny George, he was the closest probably. I had 28-10 was what I had. Good job though, Danny. Russ says, John, hamstring for Jackson and ankle for Alex. Patrick Queen stepped up big time from Extra Black. Yeah, guys, Extra Black, you bring up a good point, and a lot of people have been riding Patrick Queen and the acquisition of Patrick Queen. And guys, everybody got to remember this. The Steelers and the Ravens don't run the same damn defense. It's not happening. And it was going to take time for the green dot guy to learn the system, to understand the players around him, to really start to fit in. And I think you're seeing that now from Patrick Queen. You are starting to see his play elevate each and every week. And guys, he is the all-pro linebacker that the Steelers anticipated bringing in here when they signed him. And he is going to be that. And he has learned to do what, guys? Come downhill, play that run really, really well. And what did he do really well for the Steelers yesterday was continue to contain Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels only had, 4 or 5 rushing yards or some shit like that, something crazy. He had like 450, 460 some yards rushing on the season before he came into that game against the Steelers, and the Steelers absolutely contained him. That took a whole phase of their offense out, because having almost 500 yards rushing for the season is a pretty significant chunk of offense through 9 games. And definitely that was something that the Steelers have been priding themselves on when they play really super mobile quarterbacks like a guy like Jaden Daniels. But Jaden Daniels had something else to fall back on: his ability to throw the football into tight spaces, his ability to not really care about taking chances and get the job done with his accuracy. And yeah, a lot of people were riding Jaden Daniels yesterday, said he missed a lot of throws. I seen a lot of freaking drops, too. His receivers didn't help him none either throughout that ball game. Yes, the good old Steelers talk is Mike Drop Sports. Yes. Let me keep going here down through the chat. We will have to see with the crap birds. Yeah, man, this is going to be a big test, and I want to talk a little bit about that, but I want to talk a little bit more about this game and this win and this week and what this Steelers team got going on too. Let me catch up in the chat. Downtown says, and now there's the rumor, Millen, Coach of the Year. What do you say, Jason? Possibly. I wouldn't cut Mike Tomlin out of the conversation. I'm not sure who's doing a better job right now. Dan Campbell's doing a really good job with the Detroit Lions, who's usually an irrelevant ball club, but the last couple seasons, they've really stepped up their game, man. Maybe he's a candidate, but Mike Tomlin definitely has to be in the conversation. Definitely. And guys, you know I'm truthful. And when I talk about Mike Tomlin's deficiencies, I'm honest about them. But when the man's doing a good job, I'm not going to sit here and beat him down either. When you're doing things that are good, awesome, dude. I'm going to give you the kudos. And you deserve the accolades when those things are happening. And definitely he deserves to be in the conversation right now, John Broadway. Why? He made a very tough and difficult decision to bench a quarterback that was 4-2 through 6 games, that was playing at a decent level, that was winning ball games. But Mike made that decision, and that decision has proved to be a significant one. Why? Because Russell Wilson is 3-0 as a starter, now getting the Steelers to 7-2 in command of the AFC North, heading into the game that you are going to have to beat the person or the team that is directly behind you, that is neck and neck with you. And now this game that is coming up this week is one of those measuring sticks for Russell Wilson and what he is going to be able to do moving forward in this season. I really truly believe that. Now, if they lose this game, it's not the end of the world, guys, because I expect them to split the games with the Baltimore Ravens this season. I expect them to be 1-1. That's what I expect to happen. But it would be real damn nice if Russell Wilson was able to get 2 from the Ratbirds. And honestly, with their defense, I think that Russell Wilson can put up enough points to continue to keep pace with Lamar Jackson in that offense. And the Steelers have been known to play Lamar Jackson really, really well. I got to say this. I like the AFC North leading team right now to take this ball game. I really, really do. Now, I don't think it's going to be by much. I think it's going to be a very hard-fought game that comes down to the fourth quarter. But, man, can you not have the utmost faith in Russell Wilson and his ability to get it done? I mean, I'd have no doubts. Now, there's going to come a time that they lose a couple games this season. It's going to happen. But, man, dude, you got to have a lot of faith in what's going on. All right, guys, we've been going for about 18 minutes, 17 minutes. Make sure you're beating the shit out of that like button for us here on Steel City Live. All you got to do is double tap that screen. I want to get to 50 likes tonight here on our live stream. I know you guys can do that, sending this show out through the YouTube algorithm, bringing in new people for our conversation. We try to answer all your chat questions and comments and continue good conversation week in, week out here talking about our Pittsburgh Steelers. James Bauman, he's talking extra. If Tomlin gets Coach of the Year, Jason's eye will start to twitch. No, I won't, man. Hey, if the job is done and the job is done in a way that he deserves it, I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. Now, I'll continue to point out the deficiencies that he has. Now, have they been lessened a little bit this year? Yeah, a little bit. But there's times they rear their ugly head a little bit. But why talk about those negative things right now, guys? Because you know what? The Steelers are winning. They're getting it done. And there's no need to harp on some of that stuff. Now, they got to really continue to self-evaluate week after week and continually find ways to get better and better and better. And that's why I have such high hopes. It's not because they're 7-2. It's not because they lead the AFC North. It's because week in and week out, I can see that steady improvement. Something always improves. There's always a step forward. And that is what is special about this football team. That is what's going to get them far in this season. And again, guys, people want to talk about contenders, not contenders. What do I think about this team? I think they got a really good chance at being a significant player inside of the AFC Conference playoffs. What happens there? What happens after that? It is what it is. I guess we'll have to enjoy the ride. Yes, Queen had his best game. Russ threw the ball. Good. Commanders' coverage was great. They played. Their Commanders' defense played okay, man. Definitely a better defense than what they're going to see against Baltimore. I'll tell you that right now. Yes, high ankle sprain is wicked. Thanks, Danny George. We need to beat the Baltimore Ravens for Mike Miller. 29-27, Mike Miller's score. Mike Miller, save your score for me. I'm not prepared to write them all down, so I'll forget, man. Mike Miller, put your score. I'll try to remember it. Here, let me write it on the back half. I'll try to remember it, Mike. Mike Miller. 29-27. Let me give you my initial gut check though feeling about this football game, guys, and I'm gonna get back. I'll start. We'll get with Miss Pittsburgh's and Danny's next, but let me give you my initial gut feeling here. Whenever I woke up this morning and I started thinking about this game a little bit as I was doing some stuff, I really think this game is going to go two ways. It's going to be either the Steelers dominate the Baltimore Ravens and really put an ass beating on them, or it is going to be a game in which it comes down to the wire and it's a 50-50 coin flip. I don't think there's any real in between here, man. It is going to be one extreme or another. I really, truly believe that. I truly believe it's either going to be a complete ass beating one way or another, or are super close. It's going to be one extreme or the other. November 20th, 1964. Thanks, John, but not 60 yet. My score was way off. That's all right, Russ. We all are off at times, my friend. Patrick Queen has been playing well for a while now. That's from Robert Road. Yeah, I would say the last 3 weeks, I would say 4 weeks maybe, that he's been playing better and better. That was his most complete game, though, yesterday, Robert, no doubt about it. You can start to see he's getting comfortable with a Landon, with Peyton, with guys behind him, with the guys that are on the edge rushing, the defenders in the front of him. He's starting to take command of the play calls. You heard him talking a little bit about what they had dialed up and some of the schematics after the game yesterday in Washington, and the excitement and the knowledge that was pouring out of him is really super encouraging, man. Harvey Dunn, here we go. Steelers 7-2. Bring on the Ratbirds. GW Prods W. Yes, let's light that chat up with the W's. Get them W's for a win. Win! Double tap that screen, though, guys. Let's get those likes up. I don't want to see them sitting there. Let's keep getting those likes going here for us on Steel City Live, our daily live stream. So make sure you do that. All you got to do is double tap the screen. It's super easy. It's free. There ain't no sense not to hit the like button when you're watching the best damn show in town. Let's continue to go here, Robert Rhodes. Sometimes the best defense is a drop pass. Yeah, man, you want other teams to beat themselves. You do want that. I feel like the best defense is the lack of defense that you see in the game. That's the best defense. And that 7.5, 8-minute drive that the Steelers were led down the field, I want to see more of those too, man. That is something special. I'm 2 days later. Danny George, hell yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to anybody that's got that November birthday. D, just popping in to give a like and say you guys are awesome. God bless. Thanks, D. Good to see you, man. John Broadway. We need to bring Blitzberg. Yeah, and you can combat some of the Alex Highsmith injuries with some maybe exotic blitzes and things of that nature. I'm looking for him to get a little bit more creative with TJ to allow him to start to make more of an impact. But he is making an impact. It's just not statistically, but he is definitely making an impact week in and week out. But I look for them to move him around a little bit. Nothing crazy, but just here and there to start freeing him up. All right, guys, I'm going to take a sip here. Cam Sutton got bailed out on a drop pass. He was at least 4 steps behind. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, I'll say Cam's overall performance in his return this season was average, and I expected that from Cam just because that was his first game back playing against a really good Washington Commanders football team, and I expect him to continue to get better and better and better. But definitely, I don't think he played horrible, but I don't think he played great. Just an average game from Cam, and he was burnt on that play. James Bauman, Steelers are number 12 scoring offense right now with a top 3 defense. Could be an amazing year. Yeah, guys. Where you want to see that offense now go to is inside that top 10, 10 and up. That's where you hit that magic number, man. Remember what I always try to tell you too, and I think that this is a real recipe for success. 24, 25 points a game average, man, really puts you in a nice spot in today's NFL. If you can average that week in and week out, you are going to be a dominating football team. A football team in which has a very nice record. I can tell you that. Downtown, Mike Miller. We need to beat the Cleveland Clowns Steelers 29-10. You're giving out too many, Mike Miller. Too many predictions, bro. Too many predictions. You're killing me. I can't write them all down. Save them for when we play them. Save them when we play them. Absolutely wave those towels. People appreciate it. Danny George, welcome, John. Anytime, buddy. We're talking here. There we go. Hervey Dunn. This week, football matches are going to be outstanding. Chiefs versus Bills, Steelers versus Ratbirds, Commanders versus Eagles. Can't get no better than that. No, this week's slate of games, there's 3 big games, but I got to say this. Which game means the most out of all of them? It's the Steelers and Baltimore game. It means the absolute most out of all of them. I really got to say that. Because I'm telling you, it's going to change the tide, man. One team's going to come out of there really flying high. And if it's the Steelers, man, are you going to be flying high, dude. Being 8-2? Come on, putting the Ratbirds down to 2 games in the division. Ooh, baby. Owning the tiebreaker early. Come on. Oh. Christ is King, and Mike Drop Sports has the best football show on YouTube. See y'all later. Thank you, D. I appreciate you. You're absolutely right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. John, that was first down. Washington would have won. That was not a first down, man. If you look at that, and I've rewatched it 100 times, where was he touched? Where did he go? He was at that odd spot on the field to where he was shy. The yellow line is not accurate, man. I know a lot of people rely on that, but it ain't. And I can tell you, when you watch the replay, you see where he is stopped and touched, and he was absolutely short. I've watched it 100 times, and I know where the down and distance was. I know exactly where he needed to be stopped, and he was short by a half yard on that play. I hope it's on Christmas. John Broadway, yes, a Merry Xmas to us. All Steelers win. My wife opened the garage up. I should have told her not to go into the garage because I've been putting up Christmas decorations. She ain't going to be able to get in it. There's tons of it. She going to be parked outside. Yes, Merry Christmas to all. Yes, we ain't even in November to Thanksgiving yet. Man, I'm already putting the holiday lights up. Why? Because it's super nice, and it's going to take me probably 2 weeks to get them up. So, I'm saying Steelers win 24-21. Save those guys. Save those predictions. I'll write them all down. Yeah, Mike, they do stop Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's record against the Steelers is poor. It's not good. So, yeah, they do a great job of corralling Lamar Jackson. And you saw the type of defense that they deploy with the Ravens is what you saw yesterday. And what did I tell you they needed to do, guys? And they needed to stay in their lanes. They needed to stay in those gaps and stay in their assignment. And they did that for the majority of the game. Now, there were times to where they weren't, and they got exploited with those times. But when they were in their lane, staying in their assignments, man, they look really, really good. And that's what they got to continue to do this week against Lamar Jackson. It is going to be a showdown, Miss Pittsburgh. I'm excited, man. That was a first down. Wash would have won. We did that. Oh, you already said that, John. It wasn't a first down, though, bro. I can say that with confidence. I'm not going to argue it, man, even with you, because I know it to be true. The league determined it to be true. There's many other people that might argue it just for the sake of arguing with somebody, but it was not a first down. He was stopped. You can't cut. Receivers are taught to do what, guys? Come back to the football. That's what they are taught to do. That's what he did. He came back to the football. But where was he touched when he was down? There is no forward progress with that or anything like that. He was down and touched at that. He was short. but that's just the way it went. You can say what ifs, what ifs, what ifs. There's several instances in that game that you wouldn't even have been in that situation. So, hey, the Jalen Warren fumble, we could all sit here and say what ifs. He was, the whistle should have blew. Forward progress should have been called, but it wasn't there. That puts the Steelers ahead there with 7 minutes still to go in the game. I'm just saying, there's so many what ifs in these football games, and you just got to go with it. The Washington Commanders could have got the ball back and had another chance if they would have been disciplined enough not to jump off sides. There's another instance. We could go on and on and on, but hey, the Commanders lost. They are 7-3. The Steelers are 7-2. It is what it is. If the Commanders lose, good game, great game by both sides. Loved it. Entertaining, and yeah, awesome. Downtown, I'm going to dust off the copper scope and look into what to see score later. Hey, I don't know what you're even saying. Sorry, John. I'm lost, brother. I'm lost. Damn, there we go. All right. Shane Sheldon, whose score was the closest. That was Danny George. He was the closest. He was 27-23 or 27-25, one of the two. Yeah, he was the closest, though. Danny George wins this week. He was the absolute closest. What'd you have, Shane? I know what you had. You put yours in there. Shane, you said 27-23. You were pretty close. Danny George, Shane. Danny George and Shane were the two closest. Shane and Danny George. Yep. Shane and Danny George. You were the closest. Good thing I looked, Shane, when I seen your name. I had overlooked it. What's up, TD? Aaron Jade. Here we go, Steelers. Yeah, he was down, bro. I definitely agree. Our game is the most important. We win 24-21. Mr. Y-Man, one thing I liked about that game was that we scored TDs, not all field goals. Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. That's the difference with Russell Wilson, guys. That's the difference. That's a good one, Hervey. Malachi Smith, it was 1,000% short. It was, man. Robert Rhodes says Steelers beat the Ravens, and Ravens have 2-2 division record and a 4-4 record in the AFC. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good, Robert. That's not good. Definitely would. Who loses this game? Who would hurt more? The Baltimore Ravens or the Pittsburgh Steelers? It definitely would sorely affect the Baltimore Ravens way more than the Steelers. The Steelers are not in the same spot as the Baltimore Ravens right now. And Danny just said it. If the Ravens lose, that would be 2-2 in the division. They've already lost to Cleveland. That would put them 2-2 in the division and 4-4 in the AFC. And that is not good when it comes playoff time. Young NM broadcaster, do you think we are beating the Chiefs on Christmas? That's too far away, man. I can't even give you that prediction, but do we have a chance? Absolutely. Why? You're 7-2 football team, flying high, man. And the Chiefs haven't looked stellar. They've had a favorable schedule, let's be honest. They escaped yesterday from the Broncos. The Steelers, they beat the Broncos, and they barely escaped, though, against the Broncos yesterday. Herbie Dunn, when he first caught the ball, he had the first, but when he stepped back, he was touched. Actually, no, he didn't even have the ball over the line at all. He came back to the football, guys. He came back, and when he came back to it, when he actually caught it, he was behind the line again. He was supposed to be running a sticks route, guys. That means getting to the yard again, the yardage marker. You need to get to the first down marker. And when you are taught as a receiver to get on a sticks route, get into one of those situations, you are not supposed to be just there. You are taught to be 2 to 3 yards past the yard marker, the line of gain. You are taught to be 2 or 3 yards past that. Why? Because what else are you taught as a wide receiver? Come back to the football. That's why, guys, right there. That explains it. he didn't run the right route. That's what it boils down to. Harvey Dunn, I had us beating the Commanders 28-25. Sorry, I missed that show. Sorry, yeah, man. You weren't in there. I don't think I have you, Herbie. No. John Broadway, Meyer Cope, he would predict a game. He would look into the copper scope as a microscope. Oh, Myron. I didn't know that, John. Thank you, man. I didn't know that. Mike Miller, it was a perfect night for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Way to go. Mike Williams, number 18, touchdown. Cole Reed, Raiders are. How do you even come into a podcast of a team that is 7-2 and your team is dog shit? Traded off their best asset because they knew they were dog shit and say the Raiders are better. Come on, bro. This is a logical, truthful podcast. We're not here living in a fantasy world because you like, ooh, their colors are cool. They're my favorite team. No, we're talking real football here, not bullshit Raiders football where you lose continually year in and year out and you're scrubs of the NFL. No, that's you guys. That's not here, bro. Don't come in and say Raiders are better. Have something to say why they're better. That's what we're operating with here, Cole Reed. We're operating with truth, my friend. So when you say Raiders are better, you should list the reason why, Cole. Robert Road, the receiver, caught the ball and was moving back from where he caught on his own before being contacted well short of the line gain. Yeah, when you come back to the football, you're back behind the line again. You're touched down because you were on the ground and you were touched. Yeah, you're short. And I don't even see what people are arguing with that about. People were all day today, oh, he was past it. It clearly shows where he was down on the field. They are on the hash. It shows exactly the yardage that he was at. When you fall on a hash mark, it's easily calculated. I don't know why people are worrying about that. Cole Reed, don't be a jack off. No, I don't mind people coming in and saying that. It's fun to razz each other back and forth. But when your team is like dog turd, dog shit, like you don't even do it. You just look dumb. Don't even do it. I do have to say one thing I don't like about GP. He holds the ball with one hand. Yeah, I don't like that either, Herbie. That bugs the shit out of me, man. That bugs the shit out of me, and that's coaching. I'm sorry. That is an issue they got to take care of at practice. And if they don't start fining him or something for it, I don't know what the answer. I don't know. But man, you got to get that guy to stop doing that shit. That can cost you a fucking football game, boys and girls. That can cost you a game. And we're going into very significant, meaningful games. You can't do dumb shit. And that's dumb shit. Thank you, Miss Pittsburgh. J. Rod, yo, mic drop. What a damn game. It was, man. It was crazy, dude. It was a good one, though. Very entertaining. Wave those towels for Miss Pittsburgh. Herbie Dunn. It did cost us a game against the Colts. It could. I don't know. Did it cost us a game against the Colts? I'm trying to think, man. I'm puzzled, Herbie, on that one. I can't remember. It might have. I just can't remember what you're referring to. Oh, well, sorry, man. I can't remember them all. Sometimes I try. All right, guys, double tap that screen. Get that going here and get us a like here on Steel City Live here on Mic Drop Sports. I dare you to name all 32 teams. That is so stupid. I got to delete this dude. He must be a kid or something. Goodbye, stupid. There we go. He's gone. It got to be a kid, guys. Kids only do that. I dare you to name all 32 teams. Who can't name all 32 teams if you're an NFL fan? Like, honestly, that's so dumb. It did cost us Cole Slush, Robert Rowe, GP fumbled inside. Oh, I remember that now, Robert. Okay. Yeah, now I remember it. Yeah, that did. That was big. That could have been a score, man. No doubt about it. That definitely could have cost us that game for sure. Can't wait for the Ravens to put them in the place. We the Kings of the North. Not really. Ravens aren't that good against the Steelers, J-Rod. What's their record with Lamar Jackson against the Steelers? I'll wait. I'll wait. Do you know it? I know it. Do you know it? Herbie Dunn, I did remember he fumbled the ball in the red zone trunk. Yeah, he did. I didn't remember that. Downtown, I think it's going to be our Boss man versus, forget about it. Yeah, Justin Tucker ain't Justin Tucker of 2 years ago, I'll tell you that. And he has missed, several kicks from 50. I'm waiting for J-Rod to give me that record of Lamar Jackson. I'll tell it to you if you want me to. You want me to tell you, J-Rod? 1-7. 1-7. That's bad, J-Rod. That's bad, brother. Mike Miller, I am coming to May 25th. Mike Miller for you. Yeah. I'm waiting for you, Mike. You've said that before, brother. Concept. Patrick Queen will have added fuel for this game. He looked great yesterday. He should be pumped, hopefully. We're playing them Ratbirds. We own Lamar. That's all you need to know. Downtown Ratbirds ain't shit. Mr. Wyman, do you know how long Alex is out for? No, we should get a better timetable maybe tomorrow. I think it's going to be a very long time. I think it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks probably. That's what I would guess. It has to be high ankle. It's just the way it looked to me. Now, I could be wrong. We'll have to see what Mike Tomlin says. But I would, if I were a betting man, 4 to 6 weeks would probably be my guess. JM, how do you think the Eagles game against you will go? I don't know, JM. That's a long way away, brother. I have no crystal ball. I'm not much for predicting shit like that. Very far out. Is there a chance the Steelers win? Absolutely. Things can change so drastically, JM, in the NFL. This is a week-to-week business, literally, guys. Things change so quickly in the NFL. Injuries, your depth runs short. Just injuries in key spots. That changes so much. So there's no way of telling, are the Steelers going to do well against the Eagles? If they played tomorrow, I would say, yeah, I think they would do well. But, man, that's not for a while down the road. One game at a time. Yeah, you're going to need to take it one game at a time to dig out of a 1-7 record against the team. Yeah, he's going to have to take it one game at a time for a long time, for years. For years, J-Rod, years. He's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback, brother, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. He is not a guy that will win you a title. You have to be honest with yourself as a Baltimore Ravens fan. And this is the reality, my friend. Lamar Jackson is not a Super Bowl caliber winning quarterback. And I say that why? He's not that guy in the big moments. You saw that loss in Kansas City. You saw at the end of this Cleveland game that they lost to the shit-stained Browns under Jameis Winston. Couldn't get the job done. I'm just saying, man, when there's pressure-packed moments, Lamar ain't there. Look at him half the time in the playoffs. Where's he at? Usually in a sweatsuit, bro. I'm just saying, he's not that guy. He didn't even do it in college. They didn't win any significant bowl games at Louisville under Lamar Jackson either. He is not a big game ball player. I'm sorry, he's not. Until he proves me wrong, you can't even argue it because he's won no big games. None. Zero. And it don't count. We made it to the AFC Championship game. And I'll wait. What'd you get to show for it? Making it there. Okay, you can say you made it there, but he's won no significant game of meaning, man. None. Zero, dude. Zero. I expect you to win playoff games on the at home against the Texans. I expect that to happen. C.J. Stroud, a rookie quarterback, I expect you to win that game. But when the Kansas City Chiefs, a real football team, came into town, you couldn't overcome it. You couldn't beat them. And that was your one chance. And now you look how this is all going for Lamar Jackson. Their defense is starting to get old. Now it's starting to be a defense that ain't very good. And what's going to happen when you price yourself up so high like Lamar Jackson is? the team around you isn't going to be that good. And the Baltimore Ravens aren't like the Kansas City Chiefs right now, replacing and replenishing the cupboard. I don't think Derrick Henry means enough to the Baltimore Ravens to win a Super Bowl. I don't think he's that much of a difference maker. I'm just being honest. I may be wrong, but until I'm proven otherwise, I feel like I'm right. Rubber Road, I can remember all the USFL teams in the 1980s. Crazy one was the Boston Breakers, New Orleans Breakers, and finally the third and final year they were the Portland Breakers. Yeah, dude, I don't remember all those. That's crazy. I was young though in the 80s. JM, you have such measured takes. It's refreshing. Thanks, JM. John Broadway, okay, I got to see you. Good night. Good night, downtown. Herbie Dunn, I think we sweep Bengals and Clowns and split with the Ratbirds, honestly. I could say that that's probably pretty good take on that, Herbie. Our Steelers lost a couple players that signed with the USFL teams for more money, but I don't think they ever saw all their money. No, dude, you can't rely on those contracts with those leagues, man. 9 times out of 10, you ain't even going to get paid. I honestly think the 7th ring is coming this year. Hey, you never know. Mike Miller and Lamar Jackson should play on the Cleveland Browns team. He loses all the time. No, he's the king of the regular season. Lamar Jackson's a regular season monster, bro. You know, MVP that don't win Super Bowls. Just saying, MVP that don't have no titles. He never even won the Huggies Diaper Bowl or the KY Jelly Bowl in college. I mean, he's not. Where's he at in those big moments? We all knew the Ravens wouldn't beat the Chiefs in the AFC. No. Why? Because Lamar ain't that guy. He's not a big game player, man. He's just not. And again, guys, 1-7 against the Steelers, that tells me a lot. They figured him out. Now, I'm not saying the Steelers don't come up and lose this Sunday because they very well could be. They're not going to beat him every time. But, man, maybe the stage is a little bit too big for him whenever the division's on the line and you're playing a division rival like the Steelers, and you know it's big money, a big moment game. Things are really high, the stakes are high, and you don't show up. Lions and Eagles, Steelers, Chiefs, that could happen for championship games. I feel better now against going into the Ravens game. I thought you were a Ravens fan, J-Rod. That's what I thought. But I'll give it to you. I'll tell you. I just tell you how it is. Truth. I got to be honest. All right, guys, double tap that screen. Let's get those likes up. We wanted to hit 50 tonight. Don't look like we're going to do it, but let's make sure we crack the shit out of that like button. All you got to do is double tap that screen. It's free. It's easy. It's quick. All you got to do is that. And some of you have 3 little white dots up in the right-hand corner of your screen. You can hit that drop-down box and hit the like button that way. We're about to start wrapping it up. Oh, good, John. Good, J-Rod. Good, J-Rod. TD, are we at home for this game? Yes, we are at home at Acrisure Stadium. Downtown. You know, downtown Pittsburgh. But anyway, we're going to start wrapping it up, guys. Just a little bit of closing thoughts. Again, I just wanted to kind of enjoy this win today. I had no real hard topics, not even any hard topics on the morning upload. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. But tomorrow, we're going to start diving into Ravens week a little bit. Mike Tomlin press conference tomorrow. All that good shit. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. But yeah, we're just diving in here week 11 and seeing if this Pittsburgh Steelers team continue this magic ride a little bit and continue to make some big gains in the AFC North in this conference. So until tomorrow, my friends, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace. See y'all then. Thank you.